ladies and gentlemen. Uncle Randeaux here. Today, at this show, I'm going to show you how to make red beans and rice. Okay, now, red beans and rice. You probably heard of that a lot of places. That's really more New Orleans Creole than Cajun. I never had this growing up. Lafayette, Louisiana, Karen Groves, Texas, where I grew up, Port Neches Grove, that's full of Cajuns there. You know, Lapland, it's where Louisiana lapped over into Texas. We never had that. So it's a little bit more Creole, but we make it pretty good too, because I'm going to show you how to make it right and make it like a Cajun would make it, all right? So what do you need? Let's look at this right here. Of course, you've got to have the black pepper. Uncle Randeaux ground his own. I have that on the show. We have Uncle Randeaux the Yibia Cayenne. A little bit of salt. I like the sea salt. Sure. You got to have the garlic. You got to have the onion. Celery. Scallions, bell pepper, parsley. We're going to chop up a little parsley in this. You have to have some red beans, rice. Now I've shown you how to cook rice Cajun style on a different show. All right, 1 cup of rice. You need 2 cups of water. All right, when you make the rice, you make it separate. You can make it in the pot if you want at the same time with the food, but I like mine a little bit ahead of time. A little bit of cooking oil. This is olive oil. If you're going to use olive oil, I want to tell you a little something. Don't use the extra virgin, real expensive. When you cook it, it cooks all that extra virgin stuff out of it. Cook just a regular, good quality. Now get a good brand, good quality, and cook with the regular oil, all right, just a light cooking oil. And right here I have some andouille sausage. Now, you can put any kind of sausage you want. Smoked sausage, regular sausage, kielbasa for those of you who get kielbasa. Andouille, you want, try to buy it local. It's always good if you can. If not, you can buy it. They sell it all over the country now, but you want to get a good quality meat and not one that's with all the junk in it. You want good, solid, good meat. All right? So that's what we're going to do. We have to chop this all up. I'm going to come back. It's going to be all chopped up. All right. We're ready to cook now. I got the fire going. Put some oil. I'm just going to cover the bottom of the pot. I'm not going to drown it, just so we got a nice covering. Okay? You see that right there? That's probably about all I need. If I feel I need more, I will add it. Okay? So we got that going right here. Now, I'm going to reach back, grab me a wooden spoon. Again, remember what I told you about the wooden spoon. Better than a metal spoon. If you leave it in the pot, you forget. You got to hold the spoon. It's not going to hurt you. You got a metal spoon. Pooh, yeah, you're going to scream and holler. It'll hurt. Now I got my onions. I'm going to put it in. All right. The fire's not too hot yet, but it's getting there. They're starting to sizzle. Okay. All right. Good fire going, I got that. Okay. Put in the celery. Okay. This celery is going to cook down a lot. Okay. I got that going. All right. I'm going to let that cook just a little bit first. All right, right by itself. Now, I want to tell you a story. You know, while this is cooking, we're going to watch it. You can see this. But I'm going to tell you a story about the 2 crawfish, the mama crawfish and the TBB, the baby crawfish. And they're walking along the ditch. You know, you got a ditch. Down in Louisiana, you got a ditch, you got crawfish. You know. They're walking down. They're walking down after rain. And the little baby, you know how the baby crawfish, I think they're a little bit like us. You know, the baby ran up ahead. Then all of a sudden, pooh, that baby, she's running back there. Mama. Look, we gotta go. There's a great big rat up there. That rat's gonna eat us. We gotta run. Mama looks up. Oh, c'est maintenant, cher. That's a cow. The cow's not gonna hurt us. The cow, she don't eat crawfish. We're okay, good. Let's go walk along. We keep walking. It's no problem. So baby, he gets a little ahead again. Ooh, baby comes running back. Mama. We gotta go. They gotta go. They got a great big rat right over there, right over there. That rat's gonna eat us. We gotta run. Mama looks up and sees the head. Says, no, 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 TBB, it's okay. No, no, that's a Tishian. That's a little dog. Don't worry. It's not a problem. Dogs don't eat crawfish. We're good. It's okay. Keep going. Then they're walking along a little bit. Oh, all of a sudden, Mama grabs the TBB by the claw and he pulls him along. Run, run, we gotta go. We gotta go. Baby said, what's the matter? What's the matter? I said, look up there. You see that big thing over there? Yeah, that's a Cajun. That Cajun, they eat anything. Oh, all right. Good story there, eh? And that's true, us Cajuns. We pretty much eat almost anything. All right, this is cooking along. Now look, I got my black pepper. That's about a half a teaspoon. That's a pretty good amount. I don't usually measure, I just sprinkle it in, but some of it you want to know. Okay. This is about a half a teaspoon of red cayenne. All right. Be careful, I wouldn't put more than that, but that's a pretty good amount. It looks pretty good right there. Okay. All righty. The salt, be careful, your sausage, your andouille or whatever, it might have some. I want to sprinkle a little in. Yeah, put the whole thing. That's okay for that. We got to let this cook down a little bit. Okay. I want to tell you while this is cooking, please hit the subscribe button. We need subscribers. We need you to watch the whole show. We got all kind of things coming. You know we got a show? It's when I cook the étouffée, and we have a singer from Nova Scotia, a real Acadian, and Ekari, as they say. And oh, beautiful singer, beautiful voice, and she's singing I Am an Acadian. Look at that one up, étouffée. It's out right now. And we're going to have more. We're going to have interviews with her. We got an interview with Larry Boudreau. He tells a lot of the Cajun stories I'm telling you. I got an Uncle Noon. I tell you Uncle Noon stories. So watch these. They're funny. They're fun. And I give you history of the Cajuns. All right. I got 2 history stories out for you. All right. Real stories of the real history. All right. Now see, we're going to cook this down. We want to keep it cooking till it's all old. It kind of limp like old wet dish rag, you know. I'm throwing the now. You saw a whole head. I didn't put the whole head. That's about 7 cloves. Sometimes I put more, less. Those cloves were not real big, so I did 7. If they're real huge, maybe I do 5. But if you look in the pot here, you can see about where that goes. Okay. Now, some people tell me, oh, you got to do the garlic. You can't do that. You got to do it last. Don't cook it too long. I've always cooked my garlic at the same time. Just keep it stirring, it won't burn. Okay, now, I'm throwing in my green tops. Some people call it scallion. When I was a little boy, we just call it green tops. All right. All right. I still got my sausage, I got my beans, I'm not yet. I want to cook this down a little bit more. Okay. Takes a little bit of time. Whoop, don't you think you're running away? No. Ah, shadow me. Oh, ça c'est quelque chose, huh? That's something, man, that's something. You gotta, you know, it looks like a lot of garlic and onion, but it cooks down, and anyway, it needs a lot. This basically is everything in a Cajun meal. I cook almost anything, I got this in it. All right? Sometimes not the celery, but a lot of times, yeah, I do. Okay. And you'll see it in the different recipes, you know. Go to UncleRandeaux.com. We have stuff for sale there. You can buy a nice apron. Eventually we're going to have a calendar for you of each year that we have that comes new, so you can have that. And some other things come in, and just some information about us, about the photographer. We got a professional photographer. It's not me just sitting here doing this. All right, and some other things, how to find some books on the history of Cajuns and stories of Cajuns. We're going to have up there a cookbook by Larry Boudreau's wife, who does some nice Cajun meals too. All right, and I'm going to show you how to use some of his stuff. So we got a good a good thing going here for you. We're trying to help you out completely. You don't have to watch this show over and over again if you want to cook this. You go to our website, go to recipes, scroll down till you find red beans and rice, etouffee, boiled crawfish, whatever, we got it, okay? All right, so I'm stirring away here. I'm going to keep a stir going. I'm going to add this parsley a little later. I'll write that later afterwards. Don't forget, I told you about the rice. I'll add the rice in a minute right out of the pot into here. I'm not showing you how to cook that. I got a special show. Look up, it's already out. One of our videos is how to cook rice Cajun style. Okay? So go ahead and take a look on that. You got to cook your rice up front. Or if you put it in the pot, you got to add a lot more water. I prefer to do it this way when I can, okay? And also, you know what I do when I have leftover rice? Right in there, I defrost it. Sometimes if it's frozen, I had it from a long time, or if it's from yesterday, the day before, and I just kept it in the refrigerator. I call that icebox meat, because when I was growing up, they really were icebox. I can remember as a little boy, and only as a little boy, God bless, you know, we had an ice man, we had an ice box. That man brought a big block of ice, put it in, and he had to put it in every so many days. I was a tiny little boy. I was probably 4 or 5 years old, so I can actually remember, but I don't remember how long it lasted. I paid no attention to me. Back then, we also had our milk delivered on the steps, on the front porch. I understand you can get that now again. See, now we're getting closer here. We're not there, but we're getting a lot closer. Okay. Before this is completely done, I will throw the meat in because it has to cook. But I like to cook this down a good bit. Okay. Some of you want it a little more spicy. I can put a jalapeno in there. I like the flavor of the jalapeno. I like the heat. My wife don't like the heat, so I don't put the jalapeno. She don't mind a little heat, but a jalapeno you can put a lot sometimes. Serrano, I like that flavor of the serrano. That puts a lot of heat. Yeah, you got to watch that one. But it's a good flavor. Okay. Now, I want to show you if you can take a peek into the pot. It's starting to get a little dry. I'm just going to add a little taste of oil. I don't want it to burn, but I do want some brown in there. You'll see what I mean later. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in the saucisse. Yeah. All right. Now, all right. Oh, look at this. She's turning a little brown. That's what I want. Okay. Starting to get there. I'll tell you a little story or something. This is true story. This is true history. You know, people my age grew up in the 1950s, 1960s. We can speak a little French. We understand a little French, but not all of us are very fluent. Because back then, in the 1950s, if you spoke another language, some people considered you ignorant. And the Cajuns didn't want to be ignorant. That goes all the way back to World War II, when the Cajuns really started to come out with the rest of the world. And people started to make fun of them. They made fun of the Cajuns. You know why? Because as they were learning English, their grammar wasn't very good. But that's not really very nice, is it? Because look, you've heard me say, mes amis. All right? Mes amis means my friend. Ami. All right, when you're spelling it, if it doesn't have an S on it, unless it's plural. Yeah, but we don't say it. We say mon ami, my friend, mes amis. It's the article before that makes it plural or not. That's an important thing to know and to understand. I've told you that before. But it all goes all the way back to basically World War II, maybe a little bit in World War I, because World War I, some Cajuns went and they fought too. But we had the draft for World War II, and so they came in. And people made fun because they said they wouldn't put an S at the end. They had their grammar a little wrong. But you know what? They were smarter than them. They could speak in two languages. They could speak in two languages. The people made fun of them. They were not speaking in two languages. Now I'm adding my beans. Okay. That was just one can. Now, you want to do this from scratch, from dried beans, you can do that. You got to soak your beans for at least a whole day in advance. So otherwise, or you got to cook it for hours and hours. And I mean hours and hours, maybe 6-7 hours. So can is making, I'm a little lazy right now. I'm going to put it just like that. All right. Now that put a little more juice in there. Okay. You got to keep it stirring. Watch it. Don't let it dry out. You might have to add some water sometime. If you do, you add a little water. Okay. Anyway, back to my story. So the Cajuns, they speak in two languages, folks. But their grammar is not all so good. My grandfather, by the way, he could not speak English when I was a little boy. He didn't learn English till he was older. Right? And then he could speak a lot more. But when I was little, he spoke no English at all. Okay? My great-grandmother, we call her Glamam. I used to ride a horse to her house. I was 4 or 5 years old. I'd get on Tiny. Tiny was not tiny. Ride to her house. She could not speak English. I could not speak French, me. I hadn't learned the words I learned yet. Later I could speak a little more. But when I was 4 or 5, I could not. I'd go to her house. I say, hello, Glamam. She said, bonjour. And say, bonjour, tes fils. And that little boy, you know. And I said, so I would say something in English. She'd say something in French. She'd go, ah, yeah. I'd say, ah, yeah, we speak. And there, and I stay for a little while. She offered and said, you want a pop? That she could say in English. So I said, what? Yes, she got me some soda. All right, so I got the pop. Rode back, all done after a while. I got back on Tiny and rode back to my Uncle Lloyd's on Tiny. Back to the barn. It was good. We had a lot of fun. Okay? But my point is, you know, the Cajuns would speak in two languages. When you have another language, me, I speak a little German. I know the grammar, she's all wrong. But I try. And the same thing, they were trying. They shouldn't be made fun. But that's why a lot of Cajuns my age, we can only speak a little bit. I can do certain words, I can do phrases, and I can do a conversation for a little while. But I run out. Okay. Now, we're about done. Let me reach back here. I got my rice. I may not put all the rice. I'm going to see what I'm going to put in first. All right. I'm probably going to have to add some water to this in a minute because I like to cook it a lot and I don't want it to burn. Just a little bit. Don't drown it. You already cooked the rice, remember. This is just to keep it from burning and sticking too much to the bottom of the pot. But remember, it sticks to the bottom, it gets nice and brown. You can see it's getting a little bit brown. Doesn't have to be real brown. This is not a jambalaya. But I like it to be a little brown. So we're about done. We're going to come back and we'll have the plate ready. And we'll show you what it looks like completely done. And we're going to give it a little taste test for you. Oh, this, a side dish, the main dish, a snack. And just like gumbo, tomorrow is even better. But let me taste a little bit for you right now. You can see all that in there. Is the rice is turned a little brown. Oh, yes, my friend. How about then doing? That is good. All right. Whoop. Don't let it go to waste. All right. Oh, this is good with fried chicken. This is good with a steak. This is good by itself in a great big bowl. So, mes amis, what do we say? Allons manger, la bon temps roulé, et bonne chance, mes amis!